Hi there, friends. Welcome back to Ageless Momentum. Have you ever woken up in the morning, looked in the mirror, and thought, something feels different? Maybe your knees ache a little more than they used to, or you notice your skin isn't quite as resilient as it once was. You're not imagining things. Your body is sending you signals. But here's the good news. Those signals aren't a cause for panic. They're a roadmap guiding you to take better care of yourself. Today, we're talking about something so important for women over 70, the silent signs of aging. These aren't the obvious wrinkles or gray hairs. They're the subtle shifts happening beneath the surface, the ones your body whispers about if you listen closely. Maybe you've brushed them off as just part of getting older. But what if I told you these signs are actually your body's way of asking for a little extra love? In this video, we'll uncover 4 of these quiet changes, what they mean, why they matter, and most importantly, what you can do about them. Let's start with the first one, something many of us dismiss as normal, but deserves way more attention. Let's talk about your posture. Now, I know what you're thinking. Posture? Really? Isn't that just about sitting up straight? But here's the thing. If you've noticed you're hunching a bit more, or your shoulders seem to curve forward even when you're trying to stand tall, that's not just slouching. It's often a sign of something deeper. Bone density loss. As we age, especially after 70, our bones can become more fragile. That gentle rounding of the upper back, it's called kyphosis. And it's not just about aesthetics. It can make breathing feel harder, compress your organs, and even affect your balance. But here's the hopeful part. You don't have to accept it as inevitable. I want you to picture Margaret, a vibrant 72-year-old who loved her morning walks, but started feeling like her shoulders were caving in. She thought it was just age, until her doctor explained that small changes could make a big difference. Margaret started doing gentle resistance exercises with light weights, added calcium-rich foods like kale and almonds to her meals, and practiced standing against a wall for 5 minutes a day to realign her posture. Within months, she felt stronger, stood taller, and even her walks felt easier. Now, let's move to the second silent sign, one that's easy to overlook because it's literally skin deep. Have you noticed your skin bruising more easily? Or maybe it feels thinner, almost papery. This isn't just about vanity or needing a richer moisturizer. Thinning skin is a natural part of aging, but it's also your body's way of telling you it needs more protection from the sun, from dehydration, and even from everyday bumps. Take Gloria, for example. At 75, she adored her garden, but started avoiding it because tiny scratches from her rose bushes would turn into angry red marks. She felt defeated until she learned a few simple swaps, wearing long sleeves while gardening, using a mineral-based sunscreen daily, yes, even on cloudy days, and adding omega-3 fatty acids to her diet with foods like walnuts and salmon. Her skin isn't thick like it was at 40, but it's healthier, more resilient, and she's back to her beloved roses. What Gloria and Margaret teach us is that these silent signs aren't stop signs. They're detour markers, guiding us to adjust, adapt, and thrive. And friends, that's exactly what we'll keep doing as we explore the next 2 signs. Now, before we go further, I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed changes in your posture or skin? Maybe you found a trick that works for you. share it in the comments. Your wisdom might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you're feeling inspired to take action, try one small thing today. Stand up, stretch your arms overhead, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, this body has carried me through decades of life. It deserves a little kindness. In the next part, we'll dive into 2 more silent signs, including one that might surprise you, and how to turn them into opportunities for strength and joy. Until then, remember, aging isn't about losing vitality. It's about rediscovering it in new ways. Most about getting older is how it teaches us to pay attention, really pay attention, to the quiet wisdom of our bodies. In the first part of our chat, we talked about posture and skin changes, those gentle nudges reminding us to care for ourselves a little differently. But there are 2 more silent signs I want to share with you today, ones that might sneak up on you if you're not listening closely. Let's start with something so many of us chalk up to just another day. That feeling of dragging yourself through the afternoon. You wake up feeling fine, but by 3 p.m., you're suddenly exhausted, like someone unplugged your energy cord. Sound familiar? This isn't just getting older. It's often a sign your metabolism is slowing down and your body is working harder to maintain its rhythm. Think about Ruth, a lively 78-year-old who used to power through her day. Gardening, volunteering, you name it. But lately, she'd hit a wall by midday, needing a nap just to make it to dinner. She thought it was normal, until her granddaughter pointed out she'd been skipping protein at breakfast and relying on toast and jam. Ruth started adding a handful of almonds or a boiled egg to her mornings, swapped her afternoon cookie for Greek yogurt with berries, and took a 10-minute walk after lunch to boost circulation. Within weeks, her energy stabilized. She didn't feel 25 again, but she did feel like herself. And that's the goal, isn't it? Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. Your sense of balance. Have you noticed yourself holding onto the railing a little tighter? Or maybe you've had a close call stepping off a curb. This isn't just being cautious. It's your body signaling that your muscle mass and inner ear function might need some support. Take Evelyn, 76, who loved dancing at her grandson's weddings but started feeling unsteady during her favorite waltzes. She blamed her shoes until a fall during a morning walk scared her into action. Her doctor explained that balance isn't just about legs. It's about core strength, hydration. Dehydration can dizzy anyone, and even vision. Evelyn started doing seated leg lifts while watching TV, added balance exercises like standing on one foot at the kitchen counter, and got her eyes checked. She's not doing pirouettes yet, but she's back to dancing safely, and that sparkle in her eyes, it's priceless. What Ruth and Evelyn remind us is that these silent signs aren't here to limit us. They're invitations to get creative, to adapt, and to find new ways to love the life we've built. And friends, that's exactly what we'll keep doing as we move forward. Before we go on, I want to pause and say, if any of this resonates with you, if you felt that afternoon slump or a wobble in your step, please know you're not alone. So many of us are navigating these changes together. That's why I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. Have you found a snack that boosts your energy? A balance exercise that made you feel steadier? Share it. You never know who you might inspire. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, start small. Tomorrow morning, try adding a spoonful of peanut butter to your toast, or practice standing on one leg while brushing your teeth. Tiny steps add up to big strides. In the next part, we'll wrap up with the final silent sign, one that's deeply personal but incredibly powerful, and how to turn it into a source of strength. Until then, remember, every adjustment you make, every bit of care you give yourself isn't just about aging well. It's about living fully right here, right now. Friends, as we come to the end of our conversation today, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we've shared. We've talked about 4 silent signs your body might be sending you: posture shifts, skin changes, energy dips, and balance wobbles. But here's what ties them all together. They're not here to slow you down. They're here to remind you that your body is still speaking your language, still asking for collaboration, still ready to thrive with you. Let's revisit Margaret, Gloria, Ruth, and Evelyn for a moment. These women didn't let these subtle changes define their stories. Instead, they leaned in, listened, and made small, powerful adjustments. Margaret stood taller, Gloria protected her skin, Ruth fueled her energy, and Evelyn reclaimed her balance. And you can do the same, not by chasing youth, but by honoring the incredible life you've lived and the one you're still building. Now, I want to leave you with one final thought. Aging isn't about loss. It's about curiosity. What if, instead of dreading these silent signs, we greeted them with kindness? What if we asked, "What are you trying to teach me?" Maybe your tired afternoons are nudging you to rest more deeply. Maybe your unsteady steps are inviting you to strengthen your core, or even laugh at yourself a little. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, take one tiny action. Stand up straight and take 3 deep breaths. Swap your sugary snack for a handful of nuts. Or call a friend and share a memory that makes you both laugh. These moments of care, these small acts of love, they're how we rewrite the narrative of aging. Before we go, I'd love to hear your voice. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these silent signs surprised you most? What's one change you'll try this week? Your words might just light the way for someone else feeling the same way. And if this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to Ageless Momentum. Together, we're proving that life after 70 isn't about slowing down. It's about stepping into your power, one gentle, joyful choice at a time. Thank you for being here, for trusting me with your time, and for reminding all of us that every chapter of life is worth celebrating. Until next time, keep listening to your body, keep embracing your journey, and remember, the best is yet to bloom.